Hey, this is Jeremy, and it's time to talk about The End.
None of it's true.
Okay, we really have to talk because I don't know what the fuck y'all were talking about with this movie, but this is a mini masterpiece. Oh my god. So, directed by Joshua Oppenheimer, who directed another masterpiece, the documentary The Act of Killing from 2012. The End is a post apocalyptic musical that follows a family that's living underground following said apocalypse. That's why it's called The End, because it's over. All seems to be going well until a mysterious guest shows up. The film premiered at Telluride in August, and it received some positive reviews, but mostly not so kind ones. So I was fully prepared to hate this, with the 2.5 hour runtime surely adding fuel to the fire. And to top it off, I was in a mood that can only be described as foul as I sat down to watch this on a Friday night at 9 o'clock after a full week of work. But to my surprise, I was hooked from the first 5 minutes, and I spent the whole runtime with like a huge smile on my face. The reason I was going in the first place is because I'm a huge fan of Tilda Swinton, and I will see pretty much anything she does. There's a reason I have her name tattooed below my heart. Unsurprisingly, she's amazing in it. Not a false note in her performance. She doesn't have the best voice, but that doesn't really matter because this is a musical in the vein of like The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So these aren't really songs. They're just another way for the character to kind of express themselves and to move the story forward. But it's not really like The Umbrellas of Cherbourg because that movie is entirely sung, like 100%. There's no dialogue. But in this, there's a lot of dialogue. So it's not just songs. But it's got kind of the same vibe. Like it's really enchanting and there's something kind of magical about it, even though there's like no magic in it. And as opposed to Emilia Perez and Wicked this year, I fucking love the music in this. I like the musical arrangements of the songs and how it all like creeped up on you, and you could really feel the emotion when they were singing, and the staging and the blocking of it all. Every character got like their moment to shine with the song. And there's two big revelations in this movie for me. The first being George McKay in the title role. I don't think I'd ever really seen him in anything, but his voice is amazing, and I think he gives one of the best performances of the year. Like, I really, really loved him in this. And then Moses Ingram, who plays the girl who just shows up. Great performance, but amazing voice. Like, wow. If this film has one fault, is not having her sing enough. Like, I wanted more from her. Michael Shannon is also incredible, but the production design is a big part of the mood of this film. Their apartment slash living quarters are filled with like artwork that keeps changing, and it's designed to like perfection. But then the rest of the cave, it's just filled with like salt and water. So it's like really two fun environments. And I like the cinematography and the lighting. In certain scenes and during certain songs, the lighting kind of changes slightly. You sometimes don't even notice it, but it matches the character's emotions. So it's really a cute touch. The editing is also peculiar. It goes from like one scene to the next, and you're not sure how much time has passed. And there's some time lapses and location changes within songs. But I really loved it. I think it moved everything forward perfectly, given the length of this movie. So it was kind of a perfect pacing. I'm still not over how much I like this movie. I'm so glad I didn't skip it in theaters. It's funny because my boyfriend who saw it with me absolutely hated it. He gave it 1 star on Letterboxd. I was shocked. I couldn't tell if he was liking it when we were watching it. And then afterwards, his face when I told him I thought it was a masterpiece was priceless. His major issues were that we didn't find out exactly what happened for the end to happen. And that we didn't get enough backstory of the characters and why they were there, whatever. But I really don't care about that. Like, I don't need to know what happened. And we got little snippets of the background of the characters throughout, but then not really much resolution. They're just still stuck there. And I think that's cool. Like, I don't need everything to be explained to me. I can just like vibe with these characters stuck in this place. He also hated the editing and the script, so I'm not going to name him to protect his identity and his incorrect beliefs. I gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. It might even end up in my top 10 of the year. I do think it could have been 20 to 30 minutes shorter. And I was kind of hoping for a more dramatic ending. But I still think it's a perfect little gem, and it's going to age like a fine wine. I'm just so happy that it exists. Like, wow. Oscar wise, this isn't going anywhere. But if it was up to me, I would nominate it for maybe cinematography and maybe even George McKay for Best Actor. Yeah. It's only playing in one theater here, so it's probably not playing in your town. But if you have a chance to see it on the big screen, do it. See ya.
Thank you.
Yeah.